One Zambia, One Nation, and a very beautiful welcome to Zanis News. Let us look at the headlines in the news. Zambians urge to uphold peace. Chadiza records high number of babies. Plus, elephants destroy crop fields in Mumba District. Well, with the main news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa and my sign language interpreter is Imelda Mulea. The Minister of Defense, Ambrose Lufuma, has called on Zambians to safeguard the prevailing peace, which is a prerequisite for development. And speaking when he opened the 12th session of the Africa Land Forces Summit in Livingstone today, Mr. Lufuma says Zambia is grateful to host the summit as it brings on board different military personnel from across the globe with various expertise. Details in the following report.
Peace and security is of ultimate importance for any country to realize meaningful economic development. For this reason, Minister of Defense Ambrose Lufuma has reiterated the importance of peace in achieving economic growth and has commended military personnel for hosting the Africa Land Forces Summit in Livingstone.
For any meaningful economic development to take place anywhere, we need a safe and secure environment, which unfortunately is not always there. It's not always guaranteed due to a lot of conflicts and strife in Africa today. I therefore urge you, our security providers, to continue ensuring that there is peace for any development to take place. Peace is a prerequisite to any progress, any development in any part of this world. It should jealously be guarded.
And Commanding General of the United States Army, Southern European Task Force, Africa, said African strength lies in its unity.
Ladies and gentlemen, CTAF Africa and the U.S. Army are invested in our African partners for the long haul. We view African countries as equal partners in confronting some of this century's most pressing security challenges. Our enduring investments are designed to create enduring security solutions. But let me be clear, ALFS is about African voices. It is about African solutions. It is about understanding your needs. There is no model for regional cooperation that the U.S. Army can provide alone. The solutions to Africa's security challenges.
Lieutenant General Stari Aliwuzwi said the country is honored to host the Africa Land Forces Summit.
Our continent's 8 regional economic communities are all faced with different challenges ranging from terrorism, human trafficking, migration and climate change-induced instabilities, and therefore, this distinguished gathering provides a rare but special platform for all of us to listen and learn from each other on how we can have a concomitant responsibility as uniformed people to look for solutions to challenges of a transnational nature.
Minister of Tourism Lodin Skumba also shared his views on the importance of the Africa Land Forces Summit in Livingstone and the country at large.
The President has been very categorical, and he says, and I'll repeat, General Wizwi mentioned, instability anywhere is instability everywhere. So we need to make sure that each particular country within our realm happen. And that's exactly what we're talking about. That's what we want to achieve here, to ensuring that each particular country in the world is safe.
For Zanis in Livingstone, Southern Province, I am Sunday Warrior.
Now, in a related development, Deputy Army Commander and Chief of Staff Major General Geoffrey Ziale has called on training staff at the Kenneth Kaunda Peace Training Center not to compromise on quality and standard of training for the troops at the United Nations Peacekeeping Mission in Central African Republic. And Major General Ziele was speaking when he officially opened the Zambian Battalion 10 pre-deployment training of 1,268 officers at the Kenneth Kaunda Peace Training Center in Chongwe. Audrey Kalinga gives us the rest of the details in this report.
These are the 1,269 Zambian battalion officers and men about to undertake a United Nations peace mission in the Central African Republic. The mission is part of the United Nations Dimensional Stabilization Mission in the Central African Republic, which started from way back. Zambia Army Deputy Commander and Chief of Staff Major General Geoffrey Ziele officially opened the 10 weeks training in Chongwe with a focus on strengthening capabilities for a command post exercise and staff planning, while putting emphasis on the need to maintain quality and standard during training.
May I emphasize that pre-deployment training is a mandatory requirement by the United Nations, and that is why I implore Commandant KKPTC not to compromise the set standards and the desired training objectives. There is no substitute to sound training. Zamba 10, be told that there is no substitute to sound training. Therefore, anyone falling short of the desired training standard is going to be put on cease training. This is assessment training. It is not passing through KKPTC en route to Central African Republic. Commandant KKPTC, the contingent commandant 2IC, and your staff are hereby reminded that this is an assessment training, and those falling short of the desired standards will be required to cease training.
Kenneth Kaunda Peace Training Center Commandant Brigadier General Telenko Banda urged the troops to approach the training with seriousness, as this will determine their success once they undertake the mission.
Remember that the degree of preparations during this training will determine how you will fulfill your mission mandate. The adage, train hard to fight easy, is as applicable to other forms of military training and operations as it is for peace missions, training and operations. On this token, I urge you to adopt a serious approach to the training being offered to you. As a peace mission training center, we shall ensure that we adequately shape you for the task ahead of you.
Meanwhile, the British High Commission to Zambia and the United States of America underscored their resolve in supporting the UN peace mission in Africa.
Zambat 10, during your year-long deployment, you will play a significant role in delivering these priorities. You will be supporting the safety of innocent civilians against the actions of hostile forces. You will be protecting and supporting the delivery of food, medicine, and other supplies to those who need it.
For many years, the U.S. has supported Zambat pre-deployment training to the tune of nearly $500,000 annually, but the dollar figure is not important. What is important is the strength of the partnership that we have built over the years. During that time, the United States and Zambia partnered on many new joint training and learning exchange opportunities, and we will continue to look for more opportunities to broaden those efforts.
Later, the Deputy Army Commander also led a team of officers to a tree planting exercise. Audrey Kalinga for Zanis in Chongwe.
And now, the Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana has refuted statements by some members of Parliament on the Copper Belt, suggesting that Mopani copper mine workers have been given poor conditions of service by the new equity partner. And speaking in Kitwe today when he paid a courtesy call on Mopani Chief Executive Officer Charles Sakanya, Mr. Kawana says negotiations for conditions of service for workers are still underway and that union leaders will announce the agreed conditions. And Mopani Copper Mines Chief Executive Officer Charles Sakanya has described speculations that management has offered poor conditions of service to workers as untrue, stating that Mopani does not communicate through outsiders. Meanwhile, National Union of Mine Workers and Allied Workers President So Simunjika says mine unions are currently engaged in negotiations with Mopani management over conditions of service and that no agreement has been reached. Mr. Simunjika urged the workers to remain calm and wait on management to communicate when the negotiations are concluded. And Mopani Coal mine workers had today threatened to protest over alleged poor conditions of service that the mine is allegedly offering under the new investor.
Following what the CEO has said here today, for those of you that were following our interaction with the residents of Mufulira last night on radio, you will recall that we had a very heated radio program, very heated debates, and this also was followed by the miners, Mopani employees, firstly declaring that management has offered them a 10% and they didn't want a 10%, and that they were going to protest today by engaging into a strike, and they were going to protest by also going to demonstrate at Katilungu House, and from Katilungu House come to Mopani. And this is as a result of misinformation that as far as they are concerned, they were told by some MP that every miner under Mopani will now be getting $1,000, which is like 22,000 kwacha. And that every miner will even be given a Mark X, that's a motor vehicle, a Toyota Mark X. Come on, that's ridiculous. And this is what is angering the people because of the misinformation that they have been misguided by these so-called people. And it is very important that we adhere to what the CEO has just stated here. Mopani communicates through Mopani. It doesn't communicate through MPs, it does not communicate through government, it does not communicate through any other channel. Mopani communicates as Mopani. And therefore, those that are Mopani employees, like we stated on radio last night, your official channel of communication is Mopani itself. And again, like we stated last night, that the issues to do with their conditions of service are a matter of active discussion. Even as we sit here with the CEO, the unions and management are sitting. They are having a meeting as we speak now. So what all we need to do is wait for the outcome of that meeting, and the union will be able to communicate to its members what they have negotiated. Before that, there is no other official communication from the union, meaning there is no information. Whatever information is out there is non-official information and is not correct information. So I just want to take the opportunity also to urge fellow Zambians that when we have an opportunity like this, where we have gotten ourselves an equity partner, people that have been able to bring their resources in order for us and them to work together, let's just do that. Let's come together in a normal fashion and work together. Let us desist from these antics of misinforming each other, going to a point where we will begin to scare away investments. Because if this is how we are going to behave, that even just as an investor comes in, before an investor even settles down, we're already throwing demands that if you don't give us this, we'll strike. If you don't give us, that's not the way we do things.
We just want to make a few clarifications. At Mopani, there's lots of information going around in the social media and people talking. We just want to say that the Mopani is the official communication channel for all matters relating to Mopani. Employees are therefore urged to get updates from Mopani on all matters relating to Mopani. There's no other channel but official channels at Mopani. We're currently busy with negotiations with the workforce. We had to wait until the strategic equity partner process was completed. As you are aware, this was completed on the 21st of last month when the head of state came to Mopani. Within 1 month, we've moved. We've been able to pay contractors, suppliers. We've normalized basically all our indebtedness, including the power bills. And now we are busy as we speak with negotiations with the representatives of the employees at Mopani.
We have noted with the concern as unions that people that are not part of the negotiations are making commentaries. And the commentaries that have got the potential to actually water down the good and the wonderful deal that government agreed with the IRH in terms of being the equity partner. The issues of negotiations have got a process, and as unions in the mining industry, we are on top of things. We are the ones that are having discussions with the management at Mopani. And where we are now, we are still in the midst of discussions. We have not concluded any figures. My appeal to the workers is that let them remain calm to allow us to handle this process quietly and efficiently. We don't want to have any casualties. Miners must not go to do illegal things. Let them go back. If they are not working, let them go and work, and they continue working. At an appropriate time, we'll be able to engage them and give them the feedback.
And now the news continues. A 51-year-old conveyor operator at PLM Manganese Smelting Company has died after being pulled into a machine which broke his arm and injured his head and chest in Pensulo area of Serenge District, Central Province. And Central Province Police Commissioner Charity Munganga confirmed the death of Henry Mwenda, which occurred on Sunday, 21st April, around 19:30 hours at the smelting plant. And Ms. Munganga says in a statement that Mwenda met his fate feeding raw manganese into the feeder. She explained that the machine broke his arm and bruised his head and chest, leading to his death. And Ms. Munganga stated that Mwenda did not respond to a signal to start the machine after tippers loaded with manganese offloaded in the next feed. She said the body of the deceased has since been deposited in Serenge Hospital mortuary, awaiting post-mortem. And now, in education news, Parliamentary Committee on Government Assurance has urged authorities in Chadiza to ensure that they complete 2 projects funded by World Bank in the education sector. And committee chairperson Kaliye Mandandi called for the completion of works at Kalemba and Chanida Day Secondary School. Jubel Zulu has more in this report.
The Zambia Education Enhancement Project, funded by World Bank, has not only improved the infrastructure of schools in Chadiza district, but has also led to educating more children. This is why the Parliamentary Committee on Government Assurance visited Chadiza to assess the situation. Here is what was on the ground.
I think you talked of about 600,000 which was given, and another 1.8. But from the ministerial statement, we are talking of 3.5. Now, when you look at 3.5 versus 2.4 overall, are you aware that you still have some money which are the difference? Because we were looking for additional money, or maybe that information was not available to you.
We are not aware of the actual amount of money that was sent for this project.
This project was controlled by central government. Yeah, where they were not able to give us the money we needed on the ground. Because even in materials, the pricing of cement was coming from Lusaka.
According to Deb's office, the project has 80 projects dotted around the country, as Eastern Province was given 14, of which 2 are in Chadiza districts, which includes Chanida and Kalemba Day Secondary Schools.
Yeah, so they are really not aware. That's why I'm not surprised that they do not advance us to most of it.
Which is even better, because we may be breeding people who are not even close to the people we want.
No, they were not, because even where we are going, we just called them. The time we finished calling this, that's when we called the other team.
We're not here to intimidate any of you. No, we just want to get facts on the ground so that we can put to task the executive, because this report is generated by the executive.
Here is the document which clearly shows that some works are not yet completed. That's why I said the way the report was generated here is not the way it is coming out there, because we still had some works which were not yet completed.
So far, we are almost done, but we still have some works which hasn't been completed. So that is maybe because of the funding was coming late.
This is the overall message on the two projects.
Much as what is obtained on the ground could be seriously at variance with what was reported at Parliament, as a committee we are extremely happy with the work so far seen at Kalemba. Of course, it hasn't really been completed. The works haven't really been completed, as reported by the various reports that we have at Parliament. The same goes for Chanida. But the works that have been done so far are quite good, and it is in the range of 85 for Kalemba and 95 for Chanida. So this is the milestone.
Jubel Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza District, Eastern Province.
Thank you so much, Jubel Zulu, for that report. We now take a short break. We'll be right back for your news.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conduct that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Zanis TV presents Chayangoma on Your People's Channel every Fridays at 19 hours. Chayangoma is a traditional musical program that teaches Zambians norms and culture through song and dance. Watch Zanis TV on Topstar Channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH. Don't miss.
How I Made It is a program that delves into the many success stories of different people from all walks of life. Watch How I Made It on Zanis TV every Thursday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Still in Eastern Province, Lumezi District Commissioner Lufeyo Ngoma has warned that he will not condone a segregative approach in the selection of beneficiaries of various government programs aimed at averting people's sufferings. And Mr. Ngoma has vowed to ensure that all eligible people benefit from the emergency response program introduced by the government to cushion people's sufferings in the wake of dry spells that affect crop production. More in this report.
Focused on development, the people of Chikomrene Chiefdom gathered at Mumba Health Post to outline their developmental needs and hear what government has planned for them. The meeting was centered around the construction of a mother's shelter at Mumba Health Post using the Constituency Development Fund CDF and the construction of staff houses to be led by the Community Forest Management Group. Lumezi Town Council Chairperson Oliver Mwale says Lumezi, despite its vastness, CDF is making a great impact in taking development to the people.
Chitukuko chibwera kuno na ndalama za 2024 CDF. Izi ndalama za 2024 CDF zinayamba kudala kubwera. Meaning that tikasiriza chabe matenda processes tiembekeza kuti contractor abwere pa site ayambe kutimangira ija foundation. Atimangire ija chani block yamene tira project yatu yamene tiri nayo. Ndiye pankani ya mothers shelter.
Meanwhile, Lumezi District Commissioner Lofeo Ngoma says he wants every eligible citizen to benefit from government interventions to avert the hunger situation under the Rapid Emergency Response Program.
Andra maripoti yosiyana siya. Bena bambira kuuza bazibululu bao. Bena bambira kutenga bantu bamunzi mwao. Ba president bafuna kuti ndalama izi ziyende malo moyenerera. Shuka bakulupirira kuti muntu aliyense pakati pano alina njala. That's why bakamba kuti ndalama za emergency, ni ndalama za disaster. Kuti zikwanirise kudyesa abantu chakudya, aliyense adye chakudya. Chilumvese sana. Komanso kapasidwe ka ndalama izi sichina nikondwerese. Ndiye chifukwa chake nthawi zina pano pamande nizabweresanso akamlembeneso.
Patrick Soko, Zanis News, Lumezi District, Eastern Province.
Still in Southern Province, Iteji Town Council has signed contracts of 4 million kwacha with 25 local contractors for the supply of 2,800 desks under the 2024 Constituents Development Fund. Speaking during a briefing meeting with successful bidders, Iteji Town Council Secretary Benson Wenje urged the contractors to be accountable and committed to the work that they have been given to perform. More details in the following report.
The Iteji Town Council has awarded 4 million in contracts to 25 suppliers for 2,800 more desks under the Constituents Development Fund. Iteji Town Council Secretary Benson Wenje, who officiated at the award ceremony, urged the contractors to deliver quality desks.
We are doing the last 2,800 desks under this procurement for the district. That is the deepest we've had. What I'm expecting from you all who are successful bidders and contractors is to do perfect job. That man is going to accept, say it is acceptable, which that young child is going to accept. Because we're not doing it for us today, we're doing it for the future.
Meanwhile, contractors have commended the government for prioritizing local contractors in various CDF projects.
We've been awarded the contracts of making desks. Apart from that, many people have been given some grants few weeks ago, and very soon we're expecting people to be given loans from the same CDF, and a lot of capital projects that have been observed in the district.
We are so excited to win this contract, and we really appreciate the government for the confidence they have for us to make this as women. We promise that we'll do our best and continue supporting the development of our country.
Frederick Monsa, Zanis, Iteji.
In a related development, construction of Chanakwankwa Rural Health Center in Mumba District at a cost of 400,000 kwacha is nearing completion. And Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata, who inspected the facility, which is being constructed using the Constituents Development Fund, is impressed with the work done so far. More in the following report.
The 2022 Constituency Development Fund has transformed the once a bush to now a Chankwankwa Rural Health Center in Lutare ward of Chief Mlendemas area in Mumba District. Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata is pleased with how the Constituency Development Fund has been utilized on the construction of the facility.
This is how, utilization of CDF should look like. This is a good complexion of it, because the 1 million that has been saved for maternity annex, that in itself suggests that this management here, the team here, CDF and everybody here really care and are simply driving the vision of the president and government. suggesting that all health institutions must have a provision of the maternity annex.
Constituency Development Fund Committee Deputy Chairperson Stella Biemba says the construction of a maternity annex at the health center has been approved for construction.
We have allocated an amount of in fact it's over 1 million kwacha to build the maternity wing. It has already been given, that money, and it's just a matter of the contractor to mobilize and come on site and start doing the work. Then on top of that, the water will be, the water will not be manual.
Okay.
We'll be using the one that, what do you call it? Yeah, we use the tanks, the solar system, and everything, running water from the taps.
Meanwhile, Mumba Town Council Public Relations Officer and Peace Gas Engineering Foreman on site gave out the status of the project.
The 400,000 kwacha included the staff house, one boho, VIP toilet, and incinerator.
Otherwise, works have been done, as you have seen, and only maybe 5% is remaining for our final touches, so that at least handover is done.
Koga Yankuru, Zanis, Mumba.
Thank you so much for that report. We now take our final break, and when we return, students cautioned over illicit behavior.
How I Made It is a program that delves into the many success stories of different people from all walks of life. Watch How I Made It on Zanis TV every Thursday at 18:30 hours on the Topstar channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, channel 6 DTT and channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours on Zanis TV, Topstar platform, channel 6 DTT, and 458 DTH. Don't miss.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. And our Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has urged students to desist from substance and alcohol abuse. Mr. Matambo was encouraging students from various learning institutions in the country who are currently attending a 2-day international conference at Michael Chilufya-Sata University in Ndola on sexual reproductive health and rights incorporated with drug and substance abuse in tertiary institutions. In other news, World Vasectomy Day organization has today celebrated International Mother Earth Day by helping to clean up Lusaka's Kulima Tower bus station. And WVD Zambia National Coordinator Daliso Zulu, together with the WVD champions, notes that this is in view of President Hakainde Hichilema's decree to keep Zambia clean and healthy. More details in the following report.
The World Vasectomy Day organization, WVD, today celebrated International Mother World Earth Day by conducting a cleanup exercise at Lusaka's Kulima Tower bus station. WVD National Coordinator Daliso Zulu says the move is in view of President Hakainde Hichilema's decree to keep Zambia clean and healthy.
The team that is with me today cleaning, we call them champions. These are people that have undergone vasectomies. They've done vasectomies with us, and they've come out in the open to say, we want to be part of the conversation. We want to be part of the people that are going to encourage men to take part in the issues of family health, even issues of male involvement in environmental protection. Apart from that, also men just be responsible, in every aspect of society. So these men that are with me have taken a bold step. They've taken vasectomies, like I said, and they're out here trying to make sure that together we can fight issues of the environment.
Michael Mulusa, a WVD champion, gives an insight on the World Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day is all about keeping the environment clean, and I'll quote a famous quote that says that we do not inherit the world from our forefathers, but we borrow it from our children. And this gesture is us leaving this place better than we found it. Kulima Tower, there's great job, there's order, and this is the best way for us to show our gratitude and just to keep the...
A bus driver, Kasenga Kachingwe, urged traders and those operating at the station to always keep the environment clean.
The Minister of our local government, Mr. Kombo, also urged that to tell us to say, don't throw anyhow. Make sure there are designated bins here. You can see there are drums here from there up to that side. There are drums everywhere. So we were encouraged to say that you should not throw anyhow, but you can throw in a bin. Then the council can take that bin, take it where they take it.
Cheluba Maplanga for Zanis in Lusaka.
And our senior citizens in Mumba District in Central Province are proud to be associated with the late first president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, who impacted many lives through his positive influence. Mary Chewe, aged 77, says Kaunda's ability to unite the 73 tribes of Zambia under the motto One Zambia, One Nation was a great achievement. Daniel Billy reports.
With only a few days remaining before the country observes the Memorial Day of the first president of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, senior residents of Kabwe are already remembering him as a source of inspiration.
Vakaunda vapokere chalo kuri vamwisa kumabwe fwe valimposa mabweni fwe tachali takutira yo ballot paper nangu corruption awe kwali ukumfano kwikatana pamoto wali united ngefune mwe vati united.
77-year-old Mary Chewe says Kenneth Kaunda ability to unite a country so ethnically diverse under the motto One Zambia, One Nation was a major achievement.
One Zambia, One Nation, bale bula wa kutipata bamutuma kumwene lunga. Wa kumwene lunga bamutuma kusongwezi. Fyafine tira muntu wali kwete ensambu yaku yabomba no mutundu uli wonso mwabula kalumwa.
And Francisco Banda remembers Kenneth Kaunda for establishing the Zambia Youth Service.
Kaunda reform Zambia Youth Service yo washire chinja nomba yasaba Zambia National Service. Ali sendele misepela kuyamukui chitako kusamira kwa maskills aya lekana. So na lero ine misepela nga chakutilo obuteko kuti bwa panga ila ine system ya lebo fyako bakabonda. Yakutira bafwa ku musango bangasungira mu misepela instead vale nwafya ambabo aranokola ipaya abantu chira nshitafye my junkies.
Daniel Billy, Zanis News in Kabwe District.
And finally in the news, the Komboka Kufuluhela Committee has thanked all stakeholders that came on board to sponsor the 2024 Komboka ceremony of the Lozi people of Western Province. Komboka Kufuluhela Committee National Chairperson Nathaniel Mubukwanu paid gratitude to the sponsors on behalf of the committee at the royal banquet hosted by His Majesty the Litunga Luwosi Imwinko II of Western Province at the Royal Palace grounds in Limulunga Royal Village. Ikachana Sindala has the details.
To appreciate how brilliant and successful this year's prestigious Komboka ceremony has been, a royal banquet, among others, was hosted by the Litunga at his palace in Limulunga a day after Komboka. Scores of people gathered for the royal banquet and had a good time with His Majesty, and the guest of honor at this year's Komboka, Paramount Chief Chitimukulu Mwine Lubemba Kanyantamanga II of the Bemba-speaking people. Komboka Kufuluhela Committee National Chairperson Nathaniel Mubukwanu appreciated the sponsors of this year's Komboka.
Category emerges, the guest of honor Mwine Lubemba, we have the following: Peace Path Foundation, Export Trading Group, FNB, Country Millers, Homecoming USA, Zambif, Termites, And there are several other sponsors that we may not have included at this point, but in due course we shall appropriately acknowledge their support. We do not want to speak for longer except to acknowledge the support of all these people. Without this support, it would not have been possible for us to host that very successful event of yesterday and today.
Zambif Products PLC Executive, Corporate Affairs and Sustainability Ezekiel Sekele highlighted the company's unwavering passion and commitment to the nation.
At Zambif, you may wish to know that our passion is to feed the nation sustainably. We therefore remain committed to driving innovation at our farms and also research in order to find alternative ways to supporting national food security agenda. Guest of honor, for example, we are now piloting growing of winter maize at our Mpongwe farm, in addition to which we are now harvesting early maize and also rain-fed maize. Guest of honor, we pride ourselves in food safety and the production of very high-quality food products.
Termites Meat Suppliers representative Chishala Malekano gave a brief background of his company and its strategic business approach towards Western Province.
We are a Kitwe-based company that was established in 2014. We are fully owned by Zambians. We set up our presence here in Mongo, or in Western Province, in 2020. So the challenge we found with our farmers were facing were the distances that they would trade their animals to the nearest abattoir. And so we set up bulking centers in 7 districts of Western Province.
After the royal banquet, assorted gifts were presented to Paramount Chief Chitimukulu. Ikacha Nasindala, Zanis in Limulunga District, Western Province.
Thank you so much for that report. And well, it brings us to the end of the news. Before we finish, we look at the headlines once again. Zambians urged to uphold peace. Chadiza records high number of babies. Plus, elephants destroy crop fields in Kalumbila District. On behalf of the entire production news crew at Zanis, thank you so much for watching. It has been Margaret Kangwa, and my sign language interpreter has been Imelda Mulea. Stay tuned.